Listen, the future of our world depends upon you having as much fun as you possibly can. Yeah. And by having fun, I mean being playful, and I mean playing. I don't mean playing games where you keep score and you have winners and losers. In fact, for me, competition and consumerism and consumption and commerce are the opposite of play. In fact, when you escalate it, we've seen what the escalation of competition brings. It brings us war. But we've never found out what the escalation of the non-competitive play that we're all born with an innate ability to do. We've never seen what the escalation of that does. In fact, all animals are playful, and we share that with them when we're infants. But as we grow older, we become enthralled with competition, and we forget how to be playful. But the fact is, we still all have that in us, and that's what fascinates me. What would happen if we escalated that? Now, some people are gifted, and they are born with the gift to remain playful throughout their entire lives. And we need to be grateful for them and to appreciate this gift, because I can't think of any greater gift to give our fellow humans than the gift of being playful throughout our adult lives. These are special folks. But other people cultivate this ability to be playful and take it into their adult lives very deliberately. And when they do it and they get on the stage that is based on competition, it's disruptive. But these folks who retain this ability to be playful into their adult lives will inevitably encounter the oldest archetype known to humanity, and that is the archetype of the trickster. The trickster appears in every culture on the planet. The trickster in most cultures is worshipped as a god, but the trickster plays tricks and gets tricks played on him or her, because tricksters are also gender benders. And so there they are. You've got tricksters doing this stuff, and you've got the speaker forgetting what he was going to say next. It all happens. Here in the Northwest, we have the raven as the trickster god. From West Africa, we have Eshu-Elegba, who greatly influenced African-American culture and therefore all culture. But then you've got Loki. Now, Loki's interesting because the pre-Christian Loki was a classic trickster. But as Europe needed to build empire, they could not have an amoral trickster god running around. Tricksters are neither good nor evil, but out of the amoral waters in which they swim, values emerge. But Western society needed to misunderstand the trickster and paint the trickster as a villain, as the devil, as evil, or turn the trickster, strip the trickster of his power and make the trickster the court jester or the fool. But then I wondered, well, how could that be then that the great American trickster of the 20th century, the quintessential trickster, this guy, gets away with it all the time. And I'm going to tell you why Bugs Bunny gets away with being a classic trickster, even though the trickster was bound. The reason is World War I. Because World War I was so stupid and so bloody that the greatest artists of Europe reflected the absurdity of World War I back on them and created the art movement of Dada. And Dada said, you think we're absurd? Well, look what you're doing on the Western Front. And we need to remember that Dada was as much an anti-war movement as an art movement. And that tricksters are anti-war because war is the least fun thing you can do. Right. Now, history may not repeat itself, but it does rhyme. And 2 generations later, we had another bloody and stupid war, this time in Vietnam. And once again, we had a cultural response of the hippie and the counterculture that metaphorically and figuratively put flowers in guns and gun barrels and said, we're not going to engage conflict with more conflict. We're going to be disruptively playful in the face of conflict. So my message for you tonight is to find, which I'm trying to find, your inner bugs. Disruptively play and commit the sin of sin against an awkward power structure. Refuse to take it seriously.